Hello. Today I'm going to talk about Amazon SageMaker Data Wrangler and its feature and when actually you should use it and how actually you're going to use it to prep your data. But first of all, I would like to discuss about some overview that when I should use SageMaker Data Wrangler or Glue ETL or Glue Data Brew. Because Amazon has so many different services and sometimes they are very confusing and you need to know based on your use case or use cases that which service actually you need to use it. Now, if you have any ML specific data prep features or use case, or if you have any specialized for ML features requirement, then you should use Data Wrangler, SageMaker Data Wrangler. The very high level, the target user for Data Wrangler should be data scientists or ML engineers who can use it to prep their ML specific data sets. And it's also a low code and no code service that actually means normally you don't have to write any code to use this Data Wrangler to prep your data sets. But if you have a large scale batch data processing and transformation requirement, then you should use the Glue ETL. And Glue ETL is a code first solution when you need to write PySpark or Scala, means you need to write some codes for the Glue ETL, and actually it supports the large complex ETL pipelines. And for Glue ETL, the target users should be data engineers or ETL developers. The Glue Data Brew is another low-code, no-code solutions. Basically, it's a no-code solutions, and it's a very useful features where actually you can prep your data, you can see your data, you can create data cataloging, data profiling, data lineage. You can do it or create it using Glue Data Brew. And for the Glue Data Brew, the target users, again, it will be business analysts or data stewards. So these are all very useful services, and based on your requirements, based on your use cases, you just need to choose that which service actually you are going to use it. But today I'm going to talk about Data Wrangler, how you will be using for your ML specific requirements and use cases. I'm just going to show you the step-by-step processes that how actually you can prep your data, how actually you can create your model based on your data if you want, and how actually you can prepare your data sets for your next use cases, right? So let's dive in and see how SageMaker Wrangler works. So first, log into your AWS console and then go to Amazon SageMaker Canvas. Right now I'm here, Amazon SageMaker Canvas. And then let's go to the data sets. In the right hand side, you can in the left hand side, you can see the Data Wrangler, data sets, models, MLOps, ready to use, GenAI. A lot of features are there, right? So let's do one by one. So let's go to the data sets, and then I'm just going to choose a sample data sets that AWS provides. So I'm just going to for this particular demo, I'm just going to use their sample database, and I'm just going to use the housing and the canvas sample housing.csv, these datasets. And then I'm just going to create a data flow for this particular datasets. So let's create a data flow. Now let's give a data flow name. So given the data flow name as my demo data flow, created. Okay, now you see this visual, it's very helpful. Whoever actually is developing this data flow or data pipeline, right? You can see that there are 3 different tabs here. One is the data flow, next is the data, and next is the analysis. So we'll go one by one, right? So now first, for this particular data flow, let's create some transformations, right? Okay. So first, what actually I'm going to do, I'm just going to create. So let's first create a data insights, and then I'll just go and create the transformations, and I'll show you the various transformations that you can choose it and you can use it. So let's do first create a data insights. So I'm just going to create a data insights, and once you choose the data insights, basically it is under the analysis part, right? I'm just going to put an analysis name. Analysis 1. Okay, and I need to choose a target column name. So let's say I'm just going to the total, let's say I'm just going to give the housing median age, that column. Okay, and I'm just going to choose the regressions type, and I'm just going to use a sample datasets. I'm not going to use the full datasets. It may take longer time, but for this demo purpose, I'm just going to use the sample datasets. And let's create it and see what is the output and what kind of insights you'll get it out of these datasets, right? So let's dive in one by one, right? So this is, first is the summary. So you can see the number of features, number of rows, missing values, valid, duplicate rows. You'll get that. Okay, and then the type, the numeric, categorical text, date, time, etc., etc. Do I have any high priority warnings right now based on this datasets or based on my selections? There are no high priority warnings. Now the feature summaries, you can see based on the different columns, right? You can see the prediction power, type, valid, missing, high score, minimum score. You'll get all those data sets out of your ML models, existing ML models. It uses that existing ML models to get these data sets. The duplicate rows for these first 1000 records, you see that there are no duplicates. Anomalous samples. The canvas detects anomalous samples using a isolations forest algorithm after basic pre-processing. Okay, and you can see this anomaly scores for different columns, for longitude, latitude, housing median age, and all those columns, right? And you can see, you can just see tons of information, tons of insights actually you can get it from. Once you run the analysis out of this data, right? You can see the target columns, the details, right? So for that particular target column, for the housing median age, the valid values are 100%, no missing values, no outliers, minimum, maximum, mean, median, you'll get everything. Think about that. If you want to create those things manually, how many hours actually, or how much time actually you need to spend that, right, to get that kind of insights. It's a quick model, then the feature summaries, feature details, you just see that so much valuable information that you can get it once you start analyzing your data or create the analysis based on your data. So just, you see, just review those details whenever actually you create your own data pipelines or data flow, and when you are going to create your own analysis, you can see all the details and verify the data sets. Okay, so this is the analysis part. So let's go back to the data flow again. So now you can see that I have a source, then I have a source is my canvas datasets, sample datasets. Then I choose that source file as canvas sample housing.csv, and then I created one data quality and insight reports that I just showed you, right? So now let's create other transformations. So I'm just going to create a transformation. You can see that you can add the transformations, you get the data insights, you can chat for data preparations, combining the data, join, concatenations, create model, export it, whether you are going to export to a data canvas data sets or export to a data to your Amazon S3 or Jupyter Notebook or any other destinations, you can add it, right? So let's first add a transformation, because right now I'm preparing my data. So the basic workflow is it's kind of a you use the data, means you already have the data, means you can say extract the data, and then it is a prep of the data. You can say you can apply the different transformations here. So I'm not going to use the ETL term here, but you get the flow, right? You have the source file, then you apply your business logics, you transform your data, you massage your data, right? And then you can use that data sets to create a model or load the data into your target destinations, whether it will be S3 or whether it will be any other target locations, right? So that's the data flow, data pipeline end to end. So let's create some data transformations there. So I'm just going to click here the plus button and add a transformations. Okay. And now you see you have all the details about this particular data sets, right? So it has all the column names, the longitude, latitude, housing median age, total rooms, total bedrooms, populations, etc., right? And you get a basic views, very high level views for each and every column here. So that is pretty neat, right? You can see all the details here, right? For all the columns. It has it automatically has done some kind of profiling, and based on that it is giving you this high level chart. So now I'm just going to add a transformation. Now what are the different transformations actually you can use? See here actually you can use custom formulas, standard. Under the standard you can have the balanced data, dimensional reductions, encode categorical, featuring date time, futurized date time, then filter or drop rows, format string, group by, handle missing, handle outliers, so many, right? And if you want you can search it too. So let's say I'm just going to do a filter transformations. Okay, and I'm just going to create a filter. So I'm just going to use, let's say, handling missing filters. Okay, so let's do a conditions here, the transform. So if something is missing from my columns, from my data sets, I'm just going to do a fill missing, right? The input columns, let's say I'm just going to use total bedrooms. Okay, and if something is missing from my total bedrooms, then I'm just going to put, so let me choose a let me use a different column names for my, let's say I'm just going to use the housing median age, and if something is missing here I'm just going to put a larger value, for example 999. Okay, and then add it. Okay, so this is one filter I added. Okay, another filter I'm just going to add it. So let's add another transformations, and then I'm just going to use filter, and let's say this time I'm just going to use the text filter here, and I'm just going to use I'm not going to use this one because I already showed you this one. So give me a second, let me go back here, data, and add transformations, and I'm not going to use the filter this time. Okay, I'm just going to use, let me choose a different one. Okay, so let's say I'm just going to use my manage rows. Okay, this transformations, and I'm just going to use the filter here, and then I'm just going to use my filter conditions here. Actually I'm just going to use my household populations. Let's see what is my total rooms. Okay, let's say the median age. I'm just going to use median age, and I'm going to say that show me all the median age where they are greater than let's say 30 for an example, right? And then I'm just going to add it. So now you see that all my housing median age, everything is greater than 30. Okay, so now let's see another transformations. If you want to add, you can use your any custom formula. If you want to add it here, you can do that too. Okay, I'm just doing something else here. Let's see, Okay, let's say I'm going to use the split data. So here actually I'm just going to select my randomized split. Okay, you can use randomized split or order split or straight feed split or split by key, but for this particular demo I'm just going to use the randomized split, and then it has to be 100%, right? So that's why I'm just going to use two split name here, one for the train and let's say it is 0.8% and another is the test. I'm just going to use split for 0.2. Total is 1, right? Means 100%. And once that one is done, I'm just going to let's see what we have in advanced. So error threshold, I'm not going to change this one, just use I'm just going to use the default one, but again based on your use case you can modify this value and then just view the data. Okay, and now you see that here, right here actually you can see you have two different data sets. One is for the trained data sets and another will be your test data sets. So this is your test data sets and this is your trained data sets. Okay, and now you add this transformations. So now here is my data flow. So now what actually you have done, you can add many data flows, many transformations based on your business needs. So now here you can see that I added one data quality analysis, insight analysis, then two filter, 5 fill missing and another filter, the text filter I have added. Then I have added a split conditions and created two different data sets, one for train and one for test data sets. Now let's say you want to this particular data sets, right? I just wanted to export the data sets, okay, and I want to export the trained data sets. For an example, I'm just going to export to my canvas, export data to my canvas data sets. I'm just going to add that, okay, and then give the data set name, my demo data sets, and just give today's date. For an example, I'm just going to give today's date, okay, and I'm just saying that process entire data sets, right? You can do that. You can just select that entire data sets and then you just export it. Okay, so now you see it is now running, the data flow is running right now, and then based on this transformations, the trained data sets is going to export into my canvas, in my SageMaker canvas, and once that one is done, I can show you that it is already exported to my data sets. So let's go back to your data sets and you see it is there. I just created my new data sets and you can see these data sets here and you can see the results. And same way actually I exported to my canvas, but you can export to any other destination, target destination area or into another S3 bucket, and from there you can start processing your next steps, right? Okay, so now let's go back again, my data Wrangler. Okay, go to my data flow. So this is my final data flow for an example, right? And this is my data based on that data flow. and this is my analysis that I have created, right? Okay. Now what actually I'm going to show you, this is definitely it's very helpful features that, for example, right, let's say you have some requirements where actually prepare your data based on your business needs, and then you can use the data sets for your downstream pipeline. Or if you want to create a new model out of that data sets, you can create your new model and then you can use that model for your further processing, right? So that's the thing actually I just wanted to show you, that how actually you can create a model based on this data sets. So let's run the validation first. Okay, the validation is complete. I do not have any error here. Now go to the data. Now based on these data sets, now I'm going to, so based on these data sets, now I'm going to, just notice that I'm just using the trained data set, right? That data set, because I have created, I have split it, my data sets. I have splitted my data sets into two separate pipelines or two different data sets. One is the trained data sets and another one is test data sets. And here actually I am using, let me go back here again, and here you can see, so this is my trained data sets and this is my test data sets, right? So now based on that, so this is my test data sets. So this is the trained data sets and this is my test data sets, right? Now based on the trained data sets, let me go to the data, and now I'm going to create a model out of this my trained data sets. So let's create a model. So go back here, click here, you can see in the right hand, top right hand side, create model, then just click that, create model. Okay, and then I'm just going to, this is my data sets, and I'm going to use my model details. Let's say I'm just going to give my model, my new model, and 0620, problem type predictive analysis. Okay, you can use predictive analysis, text analysis, or fine tune. I'm just going to use the predictive analysis. Okay, and the target column name, again you can choose it. I'm just going to use the one actually I have chosen, that housing median age, that column, and based on that I'm just going to export and create a new model. Okay, now you can see that it is running. So this is my data flow is running, and then it is going to export and create the data model. Okay, so now you see all the details here. This is my data model based on this column it created, right? And now let's say do a preview model. And I'm not going to create that model yet, but at least you can see the preview, right? is showing the accuracy level. Again, see, that is the thing, right? When you need to make sure that your accuracy level is higher enough. For this one, it may not be not that higher, but for that you need to apply or prep your data sets. And once you see that, yeah, your data is much more accurate, then you can start creating your model, right? Okay, so you can see that column impact, you can see the details here. Okay, you can see that estimated column impact identifies the relative impact of each column in predicting the target column with estimates. Please build the model to get a full accurate report on the column impact. Okay, so let's this is my preview model, so let's do a quick build. Let's see what it says. Standard build and quick build. So let's do a quick build and see what it says. So it started processing it. So my point is that you can see this data wrangler, right? How easily, and I have not written any code yet. Okay, why it is failed? Okay, so I think I do not have that access, but I do not have the access to create the model. I think some access issues, but at least you have the idea, right? That based on this service, how easily you can prep your data sets, how easily you can create your model, okay, and before creating you can preview your model, making sure that your data is accuracy level high enough to create a right model that you can use for your future use cases, right? It means most of the times the use case for this kind of activities are that you are going to use some existing models, some existing data sets, and then you need to prep your data sets based on your needs, based on your own data sets, or based on your own business requirements. Then you can create your customized data model out of that data sets and you can use it. So using the data wrangler, you can see that how easily you can perform those activities, right? Okay, now before end my session, let's do a quick other things that we can check it from the left hand side, right? So let's go back to the ML models. So you see that this model is failed, but this is I was trying to create another one, and this is still in a draft mode. I have not created it. I know that most probably at that time I did not create it, but if I created that time, I could have been known. I could have been known that it is going to fail because of the permission issues. But this is the model options, right? You can create your own model here, and then let's say ML ops. Okay, I do not have anything, but you can create your ML operations here, and this is also very helpful here. You can see the ready to use. All right, so here these are the different custom models, right? The models provided by AWS that are ready to use, right? And we can, based on your use cases, you may or may not use those models, but these features are available, and you can select any of those models. So you have the document queries, entities extractions, personal information detections, text detection in images, expense analysis, document analysis, all the details, right? So let me try one. Okay, I have not tried that one, but let's say I'm just going to use the document analysis for an example. Okay, and they have a JPG, this paste of image, and based on this paste of, actually you can see these are the different raw text, right? You can see that it extracted all the raw text. Okay, and let's see the forms. You can see based on this from your left hand side, based on your that paste of image JPG file, it extracted all the insights, all the data. Okay, you can see that. And again, based on this model, you can instead of using this, you can use your own file to extract the insights. Then the tables. Okay, and the signatures. There are no signatures. Okay, so this is one, and let's go back to again ready to use models, and then I'm just going to use some other let's see object detection in the image. Okay, so this is pretty cool, huh? So you can see this is bus, this is clock tower, this is bus, okay, let's see what, this is a person, okay, this is let's create a city. Okay, city. Okay, this is bus, tower, bus. Okay, but you get the impression that how actually you can detect the image and get the insights based on this model, right? Okay, and then let's see the next one, the Gen AI features. And here actually you can you can access and customize, deploy your foundation models. The Access Foundation model powered by Amazon Bedrock and SageMaker Jumpstart. You can query documents using Amazon Kendra or fine-tune a foundation model. So these are all features you can see under Canvas, and based on your use cases and based on your business needs, you can use those features and prep your data sets, create your models, and use it for your further transformations. So this is about very high level again. This is about Amazon's SageMaker data Wrangler, that how actually you can massage, prep your data sets and you can use it, right? So I strongly recommend that try by yourself, use any sample data sets or use your own data sets and try all the features, try to apply all the features and get the outputs. Just my point is just make your hands dirty, right? Means just create some test cases or just create some kind of your own project and use these features, use those Canva, use those Amazon SageMaker different features. For example, this data wrangler, the one actually I just talked about today. Modify your data sets, create models and see how actually it works. So thank you so much for listening and watching this video. Till next time, bye for now. Thank you.